Ooh, we got some ugly news coming out about the Daily Wire that makes them look extremely dishonest. And this is related to the whole Candace Owens v. Ben Shapiro debate on anti-Semitism. We're going to talk about it all, but first, welcome to Christosophy, the show where we talk about relevant news and shine light into the darkest of places and spaces. This episode will be no different. Everybody, it's YouTube. This channel's not monetized, but you can support the channel by liking, subscribing, and clicking the bell as we grow this community to fight evil. So, to catch you up, if you're not familiar with what's going on, Candace Owens was fired from the Daily Wire for her opinions on the whole Israel versus Palestine-Gaza conflict, all that was going on. Now, Daily Wire, which is strongly influenced by Ben Shapiro, even though he's not technically in an executive position right now, their whole mantra for a long time, and the reason why a lot of people liked them was because they cared about free speech and they wanted to protect the free speech of the people that they had on the channel and champion free speech across the board for everyone, kind of like what Elon Musk is trying to do with X, okay? But after Candace showed some less than positive opinions about whether America should or should not be supporting Israel in their battles in the Middle East, she was let go. Now, she said she was finally free, but then just a little while later, Candace actually tweets that she would like to debate Ben Shapiro on the definition of anti-Semitism, most likely among other things. Now, Ben Shapiro seemed really open to this, and other people in the Daily Wire were engaging in this whole Twitter spat. I was watching it as it was happening, and they seemed really open to this. But it turns out the Daily Wire was actively looking to issue a gag order against Candace Owens, which would have prevented her from speaking publicly about these issues or issues related to the Daily Wire. So the question here is really about transparency. The Daily Wire, if they felt like their privacy was in jeopardy because of some of the things Candace would say in a debate, they can go ahead and seek a gag order, but why wouldn't they just be upfront about that? They never made an announcement that they were seeking a gag order on these things. In fact, they did the opposite by actively wanting publicly a debate with Candace. In fact, in my opinion, I think what caused or prompted Candace to even come out and say she wanted a debate was because they had both mutually agreed, apparently, to not speak about Candace's time at Daily Wire and what caused her departure publicly. They decided not to do that. But over time, Ben started getting a little more and more loose-lipped about Candace and why she eventually was let go from the Daily Wire. And so I think that's what caused this whole thing in the first place. If Ben and Daily Wire had just kept their mouths shut about this, this whole debate wouldn't be happening, and thus they wouldn't need to seek a gag order and then try to hide it. And we can only assume they tried to hide it because, well, they didn't say anything about it. And the whole question of the debate has pretty much gone silent. The last update I think we had was from Candace, who said that she had suggested the first week that she would be back in the United States. That didn't work for the folks at the Daily Wire, but the Daily Wire hadn't responded with any dates that would work for them. And so, if you're a fan of the Daily Wire, if you watch them regularly, I don't personally, what does this say to you about the transparency, about the whole facts don't care about your feelings, about having true, open, and honest debate with people who genuinely disagree with you? This whole situation and how Daily Wire handled it will be seen at best as disingenuous and at worst as sinister and evil and like all the kind of conspiracies people say about what companies do behind the scenes to try and protect their public image while really not being honest about wanting to have open debate. So it would appear right now like this is a win for Candace, at least in terms of maintaining your integrity throughout this whole situation. But I'll tell you another thing, for Daily Wire, it makes them look like they were kind of afraid of losing the debate. I mean, I think this would have been a great discussion. I think it would have been fruitful for a lot of people. But Ben Shapiro is held in many people's minds to be a great debater, highly intelligent. A lot of people thought Candace wouldn't stand a chance in a debate like this. But when you're trying to shut your opponent up behind the scenes, tell me, does that seem like a confident debater? Does that seem like somebody who genuinely believes that their point of view is the correct one and is willing to discuss it openly and truthfully in a neutral platform with someone who genuinely disagrees with you? Doesn't sound like it to me. So, of course, I want to hear from the Daily Wire fans, from the Daily Wire Daily Watchers. Check that out. Let me know in the comments what you think of this whole situation, and does it help or hurt the credibility of Ben Shapiro and the Daily Wire? Does this help or hurt Candace Owens? Also, like the video and subscribe if you want to stay tuned as I drop more videos just like this. Also, guys, feel free to drop me a comment in the comment section below about stories that you'd like to see me cover, and keep it locked here as we continue to fight evil.